Viewer discretion is advised. This clip contains weapons-grade hypocrisy.
We want privacy! We want privacy! We want privacy!
Could it be a mystery for the ages?
You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
Every week, I'm genuinely surprised by what happens with the Sussexes.
They're the most entitled, disingenuous people on the planet. They moved from England to get away from the scrutiny of the press, and all they do is try to get in the press in the United States.
So it's no surprise to people who work at Buckingham Palace. They saw and witnessed all this here.
It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
Hi, I'm Meghan Markle.
And I'm Harry.
And we're royally screwed.
Sue them all. That's the phrase buzzing inside Montecito, where Meghan Markle is rumored to be firing off legal threats to nuke South Park's next parody. Yet Parker and Stone are reportedly grinning, daring her to swing first. Whispers out of Hollywood claim the Duchess of Sussex is quietly assembling a powerhouse legal squad, determined to kill the animated Respect Our Pregnancy skit before it ever airs.
Oh, shut up.
No! I refuse! I'm sick of it!
Now, look, Maureen.
I can't.
Look at this.
I can't.
Like, guys, you don't gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are?
No, I don't want to cook again, Meghan. My God, take a break.
Insiders say draft notices have already been floated to South Park Studios, Paramount, and even key sponsors, warning of defamation and emotional distress. But here's the kicker. Sources close to the show insist Parker and Stone aren't backing down. In fact, the pair, legendary for defeating lawsuits from celebrities, politicians, and religious groups, are allegedly doubling over with laughter and tightening the satire. No filings are public yet, making this a high-stakes game of legal chicken. Will Meghan risk a courtroom showdown that could boost South Park's ratings sky high? Or is this just strategic rumor fuel before the DEI special drops? Either way, Hollywood is bracing for a headline showdown, cartoon versus crown, and the internet can't wait to see who blinks first.
And loves it. It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
It's so funny you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know it's Sussex.
My name is Megan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
Oh, well, not if your husband gets his way, you stupid old has-been. You'll be Megan Spencer before you know it.
Behind the gates of the Sussex estate, staff say a late-night strategy call produced a single, ominous email header, BLITZ memo, file or fold. The document allegedly outlines two paths: draft, serve, and pray the joke dies in discovery, or issue warnings, leak the scare, and hope Paramount blinks without papers ever touching a clerk's desk. One junior aide describes the mood as half war room, half improv class, with attorneys quoting landmark parody rulings, while PR handlers scribble outrage-tested hashtags. Yet the most chilling detail surfaced from IT logs. Sometime after midnight, a printer in Meghan's private study churned out a thick stack of formatted summons, names redacted, docket lines blank, but headings unmistakable. By dawn, that draft sat in a courier pouch beside the front door, ink still drying, waiting for a signature that could turn rumor into the messiest celebrity lawsuit of the year. At the center of this whisper, war sits a document insiders call the Velvet Hammer, a 9-page draft marked confidential pre-service in 18-point type. According to two separate legal gossips, the letter opens with the line, "Our client respectfully demands immediate cessation of all defamatory depictions, spoken or animated." From there, it spirals through every weapon in the Duchess's arsenal: right of publicity, false light invasion, intentional infliction of emotional distress, even an eyebrow-raising reference to prenatal harassment.
The dysfunctional Duchess, she says she runs businesses. The woman couldn't run a bath.
As ever essentially means as it's always been.
Half of her friendships are, do you have a private jet or not? Oh, great, I'm your best friend now.
Breaking right now, as ever, might as well be renamed to as never.
One entertainment attorney who claims to have read an early version says it reads half constitutional lecture, half royal decree, complete with footnotes to British libel precedents no U.S. judge would ever apply. Who drafted it? Speculation centers on a transatlantic tag team. London's shillings for reputation muscle, and LA's Quinn Emanuel for First Amendment trench warfare. A rumor, never confirmed, has Meghan's camp dangling a mid-seven-figure retainer, provided the firms sign a non-disclosure broad enough to gag the royal mint. One partner allegedly balked at the breadth, warning, "If you lock every door, discovery turns the windows into headlines." Still, the memo moved to markup. Paragraph 4 is the sledgehammer, a 72-hour ultimatum demanding paramount surrender, all storyboards, audio drafts, and ancillary marketing materials for pre-broadcast review. The request is bold bordering on laughable. South Park has never previewed content for any target, from Scientology to China. Yet the ask serves its true purpose. Set a clock and create the optics of impending litigation if the studio refuses. The closing paragraph veers theatrical, citing Meghan's lifelong advocacy for maternal well-being and hinting at damages exceeding standard statutory ceilings due to willful malice. In entertainment law speak, that's a shot across the bow meant to spook advertisers, not necessarily judges. Still, an associate on the Paramount side reportedly scratched one comment in the margin. Parody eats willful malice for breakfast.
The beginning of that clip where she's like, oh my God.
She just wanted to be a pretend princess in Hollywood, so she split her husband off from his royal family.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time?
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament.
The draft's final page carries a blank signature line and an empty date, waiting for Meghan's pen. Over cocktails in West Hollywood, one senior litigator summarized the gamble. Cartoons love courtrooms. You sure you want to feed them popcorn? The courier envelope remains unsealed, but the clock on that 72-hour demand is already ticking. In Meghan's head, if Meghan's draft letter is a velvet hammer, the South Park response is a confetti cannon. Sources close to the show swear Trey Parker and Matt Stone learned about the threatened blitz during a Friday morning sound mix. The engineer hit pause, an assistant producer breathlessly recited highlights, defamation, prenatal harassment, and a demand to inspect every storyboard. Parker reportedly barked a laugh, turned to Stone, and quipped, "Congratulations, dude. We just sold out the first ad pod." Within minutes, the writer's Slack lit up with a new channel. Hashtag Operation Bring It. History says they have reason to grin. In 2006, Isaac Hayes quit over the Scientology episode. The series kept the jokes, kept the ratings, and dodged every threat. In 2010, a radical group issued warnings over a depiction of Muhammad. Comedy Central censored one line, but no lawsuit. Stuck. Even Tom Cruise's studio lawyers couldn't budge a single frame of the Trapped in the Closet spoof. As one Paramount veteran notes, South Park's shield isn't the First Amendment. It's a track record of scaring litigants off the cliff of public ridicule. For Meghan's salvo, the creators are allegedly preparing a preemptive punchline. According to two insiders who have seen late-stage storyboards, the parody now opens with a parchment scroll titled Notice of Hurt Feelings, unrolling across the screen, signed by a Duchess of Dismay in sweeping calligraphy.
Trying to make ourselves into a brand just turned us into products. We don't need to be a brand, do we?
Everyone says they don't have time to make homemade meals, but if you just have 3 nannies, 2 butlers, a housekeeper, a driver, and a full-time personal assistant, you have all the time in the world. Stop making excuses and start moving snacks from one bag to another.
A cartoon lawyer, thinly disguised as Sir Sue-a-Lot, then explains how satire law works before a gavel morphs into a rubber chicken and whacks him in the face. Is it petty? Absolutely. Does it dare Meghan to file? Without question. In the legal bullpen, Paramount's counsel is quietly confident. One associate reportedly keeps a framed quote from Supreme Court precedent on her desk. The right to parody the powerful is older than the Republic itself. Their informal calculation, if Meghan actually files, a motion to dismiss on First Amendment grounds could be heard, and likely granted within 6 months. The publicity boost, however, would kick in overnight. Marketing already has a contingency slogan ready for social art cards. We respect free speech, especially when it jiggles. A studio source sums up the internal mood. We've dodged cruise missiles and Scientology subpoenas. If the Duchess really wants to tango, she better bring comfortable shoes. Hollywood power brokers didn't need a filed complaint to smell litigation in the wind. The first whiff arrived via frantic WhatsApp pings during Thursday's agency lunch crush at Craig's. By dessert, 3 separate talent shops had distributed caution advisories on Sussex-adjacent deals. One VP at a premier streaming rival reportedly told her table she was politely mothballing a doc pitch that hinged on Meghan's motherhood narrative. Too volatile while the lawsuit gun sits on the table, loaded or not. Paramount's own sponsor relations team felt the tremor too. A Fortune 100 consumer tech giant, originally slated to underwrite South Park's DEI special with Prime pre-roll, requested a re-tiered package, whispering that brand-safe betas prefer cartoons without courtroom shadows. Yet minutes later, an energy drink newcomer swooped in, dazzled by the prospect of headlines. One insider summed up the exchange. Legacy cash hates subpoenas. Challenger brands buy them in bulk.
I might watch it in the same way that I turn my head to see a car accident.
It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
These two are now an international embarrassment.
Here's the problem. We don't like you, Meghan Markle.
Across town, Netflix executives scheduled what staff now call a quiet panic huddle. The streamer doesn't touch South Park, but it bankrolls with love, Meghan Season 2, and any lawsuit spectacle could splash toxicity onto marketing assets already in edit. A revenue forecast slide allegedly floated the phrase, correlation drag, parody envy, code for audiences binge-watching the cartoon roast while ignoring slow-living jam segments. A director of unscripted content suggested delaying Meghan's next launch until after the dust or the docket clears. Finance pushed back. Q4 inventory is already pre-sold. The meeting adjourned in polite stalemate. Nobody's certain whether the Duchess's legal gambit is a storm they should surf or sidestep. Agency corridors echoed similar risk math. A fashion house courting Meghan for a capsule honey-hued trench quietly inserted new language. Parody-related blowback counts as force majeure. One luxury hotel chain dangled a 7-figure retreat partnership, but only if Meghan signs, an indemnity clause shielding them from animated ridicule. Her business manager reportedly called it laughable, then paused, realizing that adjective now carries unintended heft. Back-channel chatter even reached Wall Street. 2 analysts added litigation exposure, entertainment footnotes to research on Paramount's ad prospects. Their note, any injunction attempt, however unlikely to succeed, becomes promotional rocket fuel. Cartoon lawsuits raise viewership 10–15%, one analyst wrote. The Duchess may be suing herself into trend dominance. Thus, the town divides. Legacy sponsors tiptoe back, disruptors race forward, and every studio legal desk keeps both a deposition outline and a popcorn budget in the same drawer, waiting to see which one gets opened first.
Just follow my lead, Harry. I've been on TV for years, so I'm kind of a pro.
Yes, the very famous show Suits.
Yeah. Plus, it's a really good platform to promote my brand.
What is your brand?
Oh, I don't know. I'll think of some piece of crap.
By Friday morning, every cable news green room in Los Angeles had the same booking memo. Need a First Amendment shark who can explain Meghan versus South Park in 90 seconds flat. Cue the legal circus. On one network, a gray-haired constitutional scholar rolled archival footage of Hustler versus Falwell and deadpanned, if a televangelist couldn't beat Larry Flynt, a duchess won't muzzle Cartman. Over on a rival outlet, a libel veteran waved a UK statute book and suggested Markle might forum shop in London. British judges love balancing reputational harm against speech. A Chiron quickly added, but Paramount has no UK offices. Viewers at home saw the subtext. Jurisdiction shopping looks poetic. Enforcing any judgment against a Colorado cartoon is another story. Legal blogs joined the brawl. Hollywood Docket published a side-by-side chart, probability of success. Meghan filing, 70%. Meghan surviving a U.S. motion to dismiss, 5%. South Park turning the filing into an episode, 100%. Defamation Daily reminded readers Meghan once endured a UK court finding she'd misled a judge in her Mail on Sunday lawsuit. Fodder, they say, for South Park's writers to parody Discovery credibility. Then came the slap chatter. California's anti-slap statute, designed to squash lawsuits stifling free speech, looms like a cartoon anvil. One entertainment litigator tweeted, if she files here, she could owe Trey's costs by Christmas. The tweet racked up 30K likes in hours, a reminder that online juries decide reputations long before real ones weigh evidence. UK commentators struck a different chord. A QC told The Times that British courts might entertain a narrow false light claim if the episode implies Meghan faked pregnancy, but even he conceded damages would be modest, Discovery invasive, and US broadcasters outside reach. He quipped, winning 5 figures and losing every ounce of privacy? That's a Pyrrhic coronation.
She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant.
Meghan Markle, the only thing she found was a rich, famous husband.
The nearest thing Meghan Markle ever had to a billion-dollar idea was marrying a prince.
Lady who's very popular for being awful.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Meanwhile, a crisis PR firm leaked a PowerPoint slide titled Discovery Dread, subpoenaed emails, raw footage from the hospital twerk reel, vendor invoices for baby bump props, anything could surface. Meghan's advisors reportedly flinched. Parker and Stone, hearing the rumor, allegedly asked production to archive every draft gag just in case. The expert consensus by sundown: Meghan can file. She can even headline the news cycle. She just can't erase a parody fortress built on 27 years of Supreme Court jurisprudence and pop culture immunity. And the moment she signs that complaint, the clock starts on depositions that late-night hosts will read verbatim between commercial breaks. The internet didn't wait for a docket number. It opened court on X at 10:07 a.m. Pacific. First to trend was #MegSueGate, kicked off by a blue-check sneaker reseller who posted a mock summons stamped with the South Park logo and the caption, "Limited edition cease and desist, $350 shipped." Within an hour, the tag hit 120 million impressions, morphing into a feed of fan art subpoenas, AI-generated courtroom sketches, and side-by-side gifs of Meghan's pregnancy dance against Cartman's wobbling pillow bump. Not to be out-memed, Sussex supporters launched #RespectOrPregnancy, quickly shortened by critics to #RespectOrParody. Their opening salvo, a stitched TikTok montage of moms belly dancing with the overlay, "Mock one of us, mock us all." Yet algorithmic winds shifted when a law student creator duetted the clip, citing Hustler versus Falwell line by line while dancing in a judge's robe. 30 seconds later, a text bubble flashed, "Nice try, parody wins." That duet alone pulled 14 million views and swung the sentiment needle. Social analytics firm Spindle dropped a midday heat map. Curiosity up 48%, brand favorability for As Ever down 11 points in 48 hours. Their note to marketers, leaked within minutes, warned, "Viral empathy not equal to buyer intent." Translation, hashtags may clap, but carts stay empty.
She is relentless, she is shameless, and she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur. I've never seen somebody fail up as much as I've seen Meghan Markle fail up.
Meanwhile, a Reddit thread titled "Legal Advice from Cartman" crowdsourced potential counterclaims: prenatal, discrimination, gendered satire, emotional battery. A practicing barrister chimed in, "Emotional battery is not a California tort," earning 22,000 upvotes and a gif of Kenny shrugging. The meme economy flourished. Etsy shops listed Streisand Effect Social Club tees before lunchtime. One seller bragged she cleared a month's rent in 3 hours. A newly minted crypto token, Twerk, launched on Solana, promising royalty-free yields every time the bump jiggles. Analysts rolled eyes, but the token spiked 400% before dipping on rumors Meghan's lawyers might brand it confusingly similar. Yet the most prophetic metric came from Google Trends. The phrase, "slap dismissal," outpaced royal baby name for the first time since 2019. A data scientist watching the spike tweeted, "When civil procedure jargon beats newborn gossip, the Duchess is fighting uphill." The post went viral, earning a retweet from Trey Parker's seldom-used account with 3 words, "See you Monday." Buckingham Palace answered the legal rumors with its sharpest instrument. Silence polished to a mirror finish. Official spokespeople repeated the evergreen line, no comment on hypothetical litigation, but corridors inside the Privy Council hummed with curdled amusement. One senior courtier, cornered at a charity garden party, reportedly sighed, "Her Royal Highness would sue a thundercloud if it rained at the wrong angle." The remark never reached a microphone, yet still managed to ricochet through Fleet Street WhatsApp threads by nightfall. Behind those gates, staff have coined a new code word, Cobalt, to flag any media request that might drag the King or Prince of Wales into Meghan's courtroom theater. A Cobalt inquiry triggers a templated refusal and a rapid transfer of duties to the household's Black Swans team, veteran aides who specialize in doing nothing flawlessly until scandals burn out. Their unofficial motto, "We feed the corgis, not the flames." Across the Thames, Westminster backbenchers smelled an easier win. Free speech-minded Tory MPs blasted out synchronized posts hailing South Park as a vital check on royal privilege.
Reality is, she's a grifter. Fake it till you make it.
PR motivated, money motivated.
She wants us to listen to her like she's a founder because she took all that money and launched her stupid-ass lifestyle brand with jam.
Meghan thinks dignity is the name of the maid that cleans the upstairs bathroom.
One populist firebrand even suggested inviting Parker and Stone to address Parliament's Culture Committee on the chilling effect of Duchess dollars. Labour benches rolled their eyes, but couldn't resist the sideswipe. A junior shadow minister quipped that suing cartoons was about as progressive as taxing memes. Stateside, Senate culture hawks found a talking point of their own. Texas's junior senator called Meghan's rumored filing a royal assault on the First Amendment, while California's senior senator, mindful of Sussex donors, issued a neutral nod to healthy artistic debate. Late-night cable panels gleefully stitched the partisan snipes into red-blue montage, asking viewers to vote Team Tiara or Team Tunes. The most delicate calculus, however, belongs to Kensington. Williams Camp, already nursing wounded trust, views Meghan's legal saber-rattling as proof reconciliation is a mirage for 2025. According to a source close to the prince, every prospective family bridge conversation now carries a contingency line, post-South Park optics permitting. Translation: no summit until the lawsuit either dies or detonates. If Meghan files and loses, Windsor aides fear the monarchy's critics will conflate her defeat with institutional pettiness. If she wins, or even settles, Republican voices may reboot calls to abolish royal libel privileges. Either way, the Crown's safest move is distance measured in absolute silence. Whether that strategy preserves prestige or looks like strategic cowardice will depend on how loud the cartoon laughter rings under the vaulted ceilings of St. James's Palace. The first casualty of Meghan's legal brinkmanship isn't creative freedom or royal mystique, it's cash flow. Inside a glass-walled conference room overlooking Santa Monica Boulevard, the Duchess's CFO presented what staff now call the seesaw slide. 4 columns, legal spend, insurance, sponsorship drift, projected sales, bobbing like weights on a playground plank.
Meghan Markle's pregnancy twerk, or how to kill what's left of royal dignity.
Meghan Markle just doesn't really totally get it.
The model assumes a mid-tier litigation burn, $1.8 million just to reach a California anti-SLAPP hearing, another $2.5 million if discovery drags 6 months. A note at the bottom, circled in red, does not include appeal. Across that table, marketing attempted optimism. A parallel cell tallied earned media value if the lawsuit trends past 500 million impressions, roughly the bump South Park saw during the Scientology furor. Their rosy forecast, as ever web traffic could treble, converting 0.8% to purchase. The CFO flicked to the next slide, inventory reality, showing warehouse totals barely enough for a 2-day flash sale. Clicks without jars. She warned, is just applause we can't monetize. Investors are already skittish. A bridge round deck circulated in April at a $65 million valuation. Term sheet language promised predictable public sentiment environment. This week, 2 funds asked to revisit that clause, flagging material escalation of litigation risk. One PE scout even floated a conditional, have valuation until lawsuit resolves. Meghan's business manager called the proposal insulting, but the point landed. Lawyers are now line items on the same sheet as strawberries and packing tape. Insurance hit back next. The underwriter for As Ever's product liability policy dispatched a crisp rider. Brand reputation suits aren't covered. If Meghan wants an umbrella against parody-related adverse events, premium jumps 42%, payable upfront. Finance grimaced. Comms muttered that filing might cost more than losing. Even future expansion plans wobble. A Napa Vineyard partnership, key to Meghan's upcoming rosé, has quietly inserted a morals clause referencing derogatory animated content. A London department store exploring shelf space sent word they'll wait for legal clarity. And a lifestyle podcast network, once keen on a confession spin-off, now demands Meghan hold them harmless for satirical retaliation. Put bluntly, every court motion converts to an invoice. Publicity may spike, memes may fly, but each docket notice siphons oxygen from inventories, investors, and insurance caps.
This woman is a born manipulator.
She kind of sold her soul to the devil.
I want my home to feel welcoming. Do you feel welcome? Does my soundstage welcome you? Mindy and I are such great friends, like besties. Like, I love her. Like, she doesn't know my name, but we're best friends.
One slide summed it with brutal brevity. Litigate, we pay. Capitulate, we meme. Monetize unknown. For a brand built on slow living luxury, nothing feels slower or costlier than waiting to see whether a cartoon subpoena ever lands. Down the east hallway, past panic-lit ring lights and pallets of jam the warehouse can't yet ship, the double doors of Meghan's Situation Studio are shut, badge-locked, and guarded by a lone security aide scrolling #MegSugate for leaks. Inside, a horseshoe of whiteboards glows beneath halogen spots, each surface crawling with fresh marker lines and color-coded stickies. At the top of every board, the same countdown. 31/17/42, hours, minutes, seconds until Paramount's special airs, assuming no injunction materializes. 3 columns, 3 futures. File and fight, Nickname, Excalibur. Pros, decisive, signals fearlessness, could pressure sponsors to think twice. Cons, instant anti-slap motion, discovery subpoenas, legal invoices that swallow Q3 profit, risk tag scrawled in red, 50-50 courtroom or cartoon, bluff and stall. Nickname, Shadow Dance. Send letters, leak outrage, but never actually stamp a complaint. Goal, spook Paramount advertisers, maybe score last-minute edits. Downside, if Trey Parker reads the bluff on air, perception flips to toothless theatrics. Risk tag, echo chamber. Pivot and pardon. Nickname, hug the punchline. Issue a breezy Instagram reel. Meghan swirling honey into tea, captioned, laughter is nourishing. Pair with small batch restock and announcement of a maternal health grant. Upside, diffuses lawsuit talk, leverages goodwill donors. Danger, critics scream, brand washing. Sussex squad decries capitulation. Risk tag, sweet or surrender. On the center table sits a binder of polling snapshots. 42% of casual US viewers already think the lawsuit is real. 68% say they'd watch the episode because of legal drama. The PSYOPs director highlights the numbers and warns, "We're funding their teaser for free." A Shillings partner counters, "Or we remind studios you don't parody pregnancy without paying court rent." 2 seats down, the CFO flips to a spreadsheet titled Cash on Hand versus Counsel Retainer. Only half the room dares look. Harry breaks the tension with a modest proposal. Record a 90-second selfie video praising free. Speech, then pivot to Invictus buzz.
She wanted the crown, but didn't want to carry the weight. The royal family gave her a platform and she turned it into a circus tent.
The PR lead estimates an 80% chance Parker and Stone yank the clip into next week's show. Meghan exhales through pursed lips. A junior aide hits the time reset button. 31:16:58. Consensus? Not yet. The Duchess asks for privacy to meditate on the Matrix. Staff file out, leaving 3 whiteboards, 1 ticking clock, and a single truth scribbled in Sharpie on the door. Decision equals destiny. The sun is setting over Montecito, but that countdown clock still burns white against the glass. Hours slipping into minutes, the silence thicker than clotted cream. If Meghan signs, the complaint hits the e-filing portal by dawn, and South Park's legal team will wake to the sweetest alarm clock they know, fresh material. If she folds, the episode airs uncut, every punchline framed by a deafening hush that says the Duchess flinched. Either route redraws her public silhouette, warrior queen brandishing writs, or savvy pragmatist who can take a joke, or a Duchess who blinked when the red light came on. Hollywood power meters already flicker. Paramount's ad desk is holding 2 Super Bowl-priced slots in reserve, betting any lawsuit, filed or merely leaked, spikes viewership past the Scientology peak. At Netflix, the post-production team now labels every cut of With Love, Meghan with traffic light stickers. Green for clips safe from parody, yellow for anything involving bumps or jam, red for every wink that could resurface in Discovery. Even Kensington's private calendrier sits half blank for autumn. If a deposition drags into October, palace planners may yank quiet reconciliation overtures off the table until 2026. And out here, in the global group chat we call the internet, you're already the jury. Clicks are ballots, memes are rulings. So your verdict. First question, should Meghan swing the legal hammer and risk turning every subpoena into a meme, or swallow the sting and bank on post-parody sympathy? Second question, if Discovery cracks open private hard drives, raw pregnancy footage, palace emails, unreleased restock metrics, do you think the Crown can still keep its secrets? Or will the courtroom lights expose more than a cartoon ever could? Tell us in the comments. If you're savoring every twist of this cartoon versus Crown showdown, tap like, hit subscribe, and keep your notifications on full volume. The next leak, filing, or emergency reel could drop any second, and when it does, you'll want a front row seat to the splash. Stay tuned, because whatever Meghan chooses tonight will script the headlines for months, and trust us, this story is nowhere near its final frame.